Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So I got caught up with a lot of delays and a lot of weird stuff, but we are here and we are live back on with the XRP updates for today. This is XRP got too big to ignore, and the hype for XRP Vegas is starting. This will be a massive event for the XRP community and for crypto as a whole. And I guess it will be one of the largest events this year for XRP. So it's going to be a really big conference, and XRP is going to do it big. So shout out to the XRP team and for the XRP group and for these guys for getting the conference off the ground. So I guess we can start. So, all right, everyone, buckle up because today we're talking about something the market is still not fully priced in. XRP just got too big to ignore. I mean that in every sense. Too big in the headlines, too big in the infrastructure, too big in institutional conversation, too big in the NFT conversation, and way too big for the haters to keep pretending this is just another old coin living off nostalgia. Because look at what's happening now. Ripple just announced it joined the Monetary Authority of Singapore Bloom initiative, partnering with Uplook to work on programmable settlement infrastructure in trade finance. Let me say that again. This is not random Twitter hype. This is Ripple stepping directly into a serious financial innovative initiative with Singapore in the mix. This is the kind of update people miss because they're too busy staring at candles and not really reading what's actually being built. And that's only one piece of it. But let's get the screen share started because I'm going to kick this video on because I got to run real quick, but I'll be right back, maybe 5 minutes. So, as always, this is Caleb and Brown. Shout out to Caleb and Brown and sponsoring the BTM Crypto News Network. So, thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And Caleb and Brown will be at the XRP conference as well. So, big shout out to those guys. And also, Caleb and Brown does share your crypto and help you with your passwords in self custody. But I need to start this video and I will be right back. So this is which one? I think it's this guy. I thought it was no, I had it. Yeah, I guess we'll go with Moneymaker. Actually, no, go with this guy. And I'll be right back. Let me start this video on
APAC region, what they are doing with Singapore, as well as in the APAC part of the world. This is going to really help them advance everything that they're trying to do with XRP and RLUSD globally. Let me go through some of the recent information that everybody's been able to uncover here on X. I'm going to break it all down for you in this video so you are a pro. You ready to go? Let's do it. All right, Crypto Erie, break-in scoop. Advanced programmable settlement infrastructure in trade finance, APAC region, XRP ledger, and stablecoin RLUSD. Payments auto release when the shipment is verified. Here are the details. Singapore, March 25th, 2026. Ripple, the leading provider of blockchain-based enterprise solutions across traditional and digital finance, today announced its participation in Bloom, an initiative by the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Bloom, borderless, liquid, open, online, multi-currency, is designed to extend settlement capabilities in tokenized bank liabilities and regulated stablecoins. Partnering with leading supply chain finance technology Unlock, Ripple will pilot a use case aimed at transforming cross-border trade settlements. The project aims to showcase a viable model for Singapore's future development of innovation and interoperable settlement infrastructure. The joint initiative requires Unlock's SC plus trade finance infrastructure, which integrates trade obligations, settlement conditions, and financing workflows into a unified execution layer. The solution leverages Ripple's institutional grade infrastructure, the XRP ledger, and of course, RLUSD, a trusted enterprise grade stablecoin designed for enterprise use cases. Ripple and Unlock are using digital settlement assets like stablecoins and tokenized bank liabilities to address structural inefficiencies in cross-border trade settlement. Payments are released only when the predefined commercial conditions are met, such as a shipment verification. This structure enhances risk transparency and supports improved access to financing for small to medium enterprises. Fiona Murray, the managing director of Asia Pacific at Ripple, said Singapore continues to take a leading role globally in providing the regulatory clarity necessary for the digital asset space to thrive. Ripple is incredibly excited to be a part of Bloom, an initiative that perfectly aligns with our commitment to compliant real-world utility for blockchain technology. Built on the XRP Ledger, SC Plus solution Unlock's smart contract-driven trade finance platform uses RLUSD to automatically trigger payments the moment the shipment is verified. This partnership combines Unlock's supply chain expertise with Ripple's secure technology to make global trade faster and more transparent. Letita Chow, president of the chief risk officer of Unlock, said Bloom represents an important step towards modernizing trade finance infrastructure in a controlled and regulated environment. Through SC Plus, we are demonstrating how digital settlement rails can be integrated into existing trade and financing workflows without disrupting commercial relationships. Collaboration with the Monetary Authority of Singapore and Ripple enables us to explore scalable, interoperable models for cross-border trade. Here is the link in the comments if you want to take a look here. It's by the Asian Banker Association. Now, we did get that quote here from Fiona Murray. I just wanted to show you this. And, everybody's kind of talking about this here, that Ripple joined this Singapore's Bloom initiative. And anything that you can do with the central bank is going to be extremely helpful. I did play this clip in a previous video, but I did want to get into a ton of other information that we didn't have. But I just wanted to set the stage in case people didn't watch yesterday's video.
Coins and deposit tokens are often treated as competing instruments when they're more accurately understood as complementary, serving overlapping but distinct needs with meaningfully different legal and operational architectures underneath. The similarities are quite real and very important. Both are blockchain-based representations of fiat value. Both aim to maintain a stable 1:1 relationship with a reference fiat currency. Both support programmability, so that's the ability to embed payment logic, conditions, and automation into the token itself, which is something neither cash nor traditional bank transfers can do. And both are being explored for the same high-value use cases: cross-border payments, trade finance, treasury management, and tokenized asset settlement.
I think Ripple is trying to show that their technology with the XRP ledger powering everything can basically go into any use case, whether it's payments, cross-border, whether it's remittances, whether it's stable coins, whether it's custody, tokenization of real world assets. And now we're getting into, shipping and smart solutions for trade finance. I mean, this is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. And what happens is when a ship docks and the cargo comes off the ship, it'll sit on the dock until that cargo is paid for. And if that cargo lands on a Thursday or a Friday, that payment might not clear until the next week. And so you are losing business anytime you cannot take your cargo and then put it to good use, right? Those extra few days, every time a shipment comes in, that adds up every month, every week, every year. And think about how much more business you'll be able to do when you can pay for it instantly, have that cargo then transported, and then start to sell whatever it is that you are selling. It'll make a very, very big impact. Here's ZF Crypto. Ripple officially in Singapore, MAS Bloom Sandbox partnering with Unlock to pilot automated cross-border trade settlements using RLUSD stablecoin plus the XRP ledger. Unlock isn't some small play. The supply chain, it's a supply chain finance beast, 200 billion in cumulative trade assets processed, 330,000 plus companies supported worldwide, 2,900 anchor enterprises and financial partners, backed by heavyweights like Tencent, CITIC Capital, and Standard Charter. Another connection to Standard Charter here. The SC Plus smart contract platform already went live with stablecoin trade finance. Now with Ripple, it's programmable payments on steroids, shipment verified, invoice approved, RLUSD settles instantly, no more 30 to 90 day waits, no correspondent banks, no paperwork nightmares. This is exactly why the XRP ledger was built for trade finance in a multi-trillion dollar market. If this pilot scales, XRP and RLUSD are about to eat, I think he's trying to say eat people's lunch. And he also quoted this here. Ripple just joined the MAS Bloom initiative partnering with Unlock. And so now more people are starting to cover this story. I did want to take a little bit deeper dive into this, obviously giving you as much information as possible about what else Ripple is doing in this region. Ripple Markets APAC Limited holds a major payment institution license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore, originally granted and then expanded in late 2025. The MAS expansion broadens Ripple's permitted payment activities so it can offer end-to-end payment solutions to banks, corporates, fintechs from Singapore. The updated MPI permissions are explicitly about token-based settlement infrastructure, allowing regulated use of XRP and Ripple's USD-backed stablecoin RLUSD in payment and settlement flows for clients in Singapore. MAS expanded approval lets Ripple integrate XRP as a bridge asset inside its infrastructure for cross-border transfers within a fully regulated MPI framework. RLUSD is positioned as a settlement asset in Singapore with MAS cleared scope to use it for institutional payment solutions and token-based settlement services. And Ripple's on-demand liquidity rails, token-based instant FX settlement can now be offered end-to-end out of Singapore's banks, fintechs, and crypto firms using XRP and RLUSD. We did talk about the Bloom initiative, which is great. I did want to take a look here at what else is going on in the region. We talked about the MPI license. Ripple reports APAC payment volumes grew by 100% in 2025 and a form of a major share of the $100 billion plus processed globally across 60 markets on Ripple rails. The Singapore MPI expansion specifically enables Ripple to take on the technical and compliance heavy lifting for banks and fintechs in APAC region, pushing XRP as a bridge and RLUSD as a settlement utility token. And it does talk about SBI Ripple Asia is Ripple's longstanding vehicle to deploy Ripple's tech across Japan, China, Taiwan, South Korea, and the ASEAN districts or ASEAN regions, with Ripple APAC based in Sydney, historically covering Australia, Singapore, and India. Ripple is now targeting full Australian licensing by acquiring BC Payments Australia to secure an AFSL, tying in Project Arcadia under the Reserve Bank of Australia and the DFCRC for digital asset infrastructure, another APAC regulatory rail that can interoperate with Ripple's Singapore hub. And so Ripple is backing the new XRP Asia hub designed to grow builders and XRPL adoption across APAC, mirroring XRPL Commons in Europe, but focused on funding regional projects and integrating them into global XRPL ecosystem. So there's so much happening behind the scenes most people don't even realize. And now everybody is kind of talking about this. Ripple custody is also available now in Singapore. Ripple custody is offered across the largest global financial markets, including Switzerland, Germany, France, United Kingdom, the United States, Singapore, and Hong Kong. Today, it serves as a top-tier banks, financial institutions, and crypto businesses around the world, including BBVA Switzerland, Societe Generale Forge, DBS, RuleMatch, ArcX, Futureverse, and more. It does look like they are growing, and that's going to be now a part of this new feature. There was this 16-second clip where you have Ripple with somebody there from JP Morgan. Let me play it.
Another MES initiative is Bloom, which stands for Borderless Liquid Open Online Multicurrency, where MES is collaborating with the industry to enable settlement in tokenized bank liabilities, and well-regulated stablecoins. And Ripple is a participant in Bloom.
What else is a Ripple a participant in? Here you go. Wee Koto, Global Head of Business Architecture from Kinesis by JP Morgan. So it is funny. You're starting to see more and more connections between JP Morgan and Ripple. Remember, G Treasury, JP Morgan is a G Treasury customer. So I love to see that. And here's Unlock just to show you those partnerships again. Standard Chartered, DBS, China CITIC Bank, HSBC, Global Trading Network, Trade Information Network, China International Trade Single Window, and Bank of China in Hong Kong. Chad Steingraber says, how you doing? How you doing, mama? And he says, he's quoting here, sup at Ondo Finance Blockworks. Remember, Ondo Finance is moving forward with Franklin Templeton to tokenize ETFs. And so will the XRP Ledger have any part in that? This is more of a quick update to just give you some more information. I know there's a lot of people who watched the previous video about Bloom and Ripple and wanted some more key details. I hope you got value. Please like the video, leave a comment below. It's always a pleasure to spend this time with you. I'm Crypto Sensei. I will see you in the next one. Aloha.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, look like we got back just in time. So I want to play this short real quick. This is a Ripple.
Require XRP's price to appreciate in the short to the midterm. On-demand liquidity works whether XRP is $1 or $10 right now. Partnerships, they create utility, but not necessarily immediate price pressure on the chart. And if you've seen that with the positive news of the lawsuit, you see how price tends to get sold off after that positive news drops. And as these build-outs happen over years, they're not happening out over weeks or days. This takes time. This is about understanding what's being built and recognizing that infrastructure shifts take time most of the time. Sometimes they take decades to play out. So BlackRock outlined phase one back in 2019, over 6 years ago. And it took until 2020 and 2021 to play out. Ripple's business model doesn't require XRP's price to appreciate in the short to the midterm. On-demand liquidity works whether XRP is $1 or $10 right now. Partnerships, they create utility, but not necessarily immediate price pressure on the chart. And if you've seen that with the positive news of the lawsuit, you see how price tends to get sold off after that positive news drops. And as these build-outs happen over years, they're not happening out over weeks or days. This takes time. This is about understanding what's being built and recognizing that infrastructure shifts take time most of the time. Sometimes they take decades to play out. So BlackRock outlined phase one back in 2019, over 6 years ago. And it took until 2020 and 2021 to play out. Ripple's business model doesn't require XRP's price to appreciate in the short to the midterm. On-demand liquidity works whether XRP is $1 or $10 right now. Partnerships, they create utility, but not necessarily immediate price pressure on the chart. And if you've seen that with the positive news of the lawsuit, you see how price tends to get sold off after that positive news drops. And as these build-outs happen over years, they're not happening out over weeks or days. This takes time. This is about understanding what's being built and recognizing that infrastructure shifts take time most of the time. Sometimes they take decades to play out. So BlackRock outlined phase one back in 2019, over 6 years ago. And it took until 2020 and 2021 to play out. Ripple's business model doesn't require XRP's price to appreciate in the short to the midterm. On-demand liquidity works whether XRP is $1 or $10 right now. Partnerships, they create you.
So shout out to Bull Runner. I just realized it played through a couple times. I'm tripping. What up, Jeffro? What up, Silver Days? Thanks for joining, brother man. What up, Dave? Long time Silver, bro. You just on the live stream earlier. What are you talking about? But I'm tripping. Next video this is a quick for Crypto Sensei.
Have any XRP from Ripple Escrow? That is a question that a lot of people have asked. If the Clarity Act gets passed in its current form and Ripple and the XRP ledger wouldn't fall under the mature blockchain status, because Ripple and its the people that work with Ripple would need to own under 20 billion tokens, 20%. So what are they going to do with 18 or 20 billion XRP? I made a video on this, and there's a few options. They can give the XRP away, foundations. They could do airdrops. They could sell the XRP. You could sell the wallets in the escrow and bring that number down. You could burn the XRP. So there's some really weird choices there, and I think it's really important that the community does get some information, right? Because if you're gonna sell this XRP, you've been a great steward of the XRP ledger, Ripple. You re-lock up 70 to 80% back of that XRP every month. The person that you're selling it to, what if they start dumping it on the market? That's a big problem for retail holders, and I'd love some more information on that.
So shout out to Crypto Sensei. So this is the bubbles. Looks like there is a lot of what? Looks like there's a lot of uncertainty in the market today. We see a lot of red. So let's go through it real quick. Looks like Ondo is up 3.1%. Flux is up 4.3. What is this? Polymesh is up 0.7. Bitcoin Cash is up 0.8. Jasmy is up 1%. Safe is up 1.5. Hash Flow is up 1.5. Qubit is up 1% as well. And Swarms is up 10%. So let's go to the big boys. XLM's up 3.4. XPR is up down, tripping. XPR is down 1.4. Caspa is down 3.8. AIOZ is down 3.7. ZBCN is down 3.1. Qual's down 5.8. Algorand's down 3.6. FIT is down 6%. Beer is down 5%. HBAR is down 2.5. Not saying this financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. But now would be a good time to pick up something while it's down. Renders down 6.2%. Yes, Dave, I know you're joking. Messing around with you guys. Just messing around. World Mobile Token is down 8.5. Tau is down 6.7. I was going to do a Tau video, but maybe later. For the hour, it's down 0.7. For the day, it's down 6.7. For the week, it's up 19.5. For the month, it's up 72.4. And for the year, it's up 19.2. And I'm trying to set up a Tau miner, right? Trying to mine Tau on the subnet using Linux and Ubuntu. And this is not as easy as I thought it would be. And actually, it's mainly just the Linux commands having some problems with. But at some point, we will get it set up and I can make a video about setting it up. But so far, it has been a bit of a freaking struggle, man. But that's here nor there. And didn't want to go down a rabbit hole. So Zcash is down 7.3. ZK is down 5.4. Cardano's down 3.2. And Bitcoin is down to 66,000. 36, down 4.4 on the day, up 0.4 on the hour, down 5.7 for the week, down 4.2 for the month, and down 24.3 on the year. Ethereum is down to 1,992, down 3.7 on the year, up 0.5 on the hour, up 6.4 on, down 6.4 on the week. Why I keep getting ups and downs mixed up? down 3.8 for the month, down 0.6 on the year to 1,996. Then that brings us to our favorite cross border remittance payment processor, the crypto that is too big to fail and too big to ignore. This is XRP, down 2.3 on the day, up 0.2 on the hour, down 7.4 on the week, down 9.5 on the month, and down 43.1 on the year to $1.32. But there is a lot of volatility in the market today, so I wouldn't just put that on XRP because there's a lot of things going on. So this is Twitter. Make sure you sign up for the BTM Crypto News Network, which is jumping. Bro, I'm almost at 4K, which is shocking, actually. But let's look at the numbers and come back. So this is the crypto market cap. Current market cap is 2.28 trillion, down 2.91. CMC 20 is $136.48, down 4.3. Fear and greed is at 22. Altcoin season is 48 out of 100. So we're pulling away from Bitcoin dominance. Average crypto RSI is 36.3. XRP today is down 2.45% to $1.32. Market cap is 81.2 billion, down 2.54. 24-hour trading volume is up, which is weird, to 13.65 to 2.47 billion. Looks as this XRP is powering miracles. A historic $145,000 donation to Seoul National Hospital. What? Cryptocurrency is proving to be the ultimate tool for global good. In historic move, 79-year-old South Korean investor Kim Ji-soo has donated 100,000 XRP, approximately 145,000, to Seoul National University Hospital. This follows his incredible contribution of one full Bitcoin to the Red Cross just a few months prior, showcasing the massive philanthropy potential of digital assets. Kim's journey is the epiphany of the diamond hand philosophy, from an orphan of the Korean War to a self-made investor legend. Hold on, the Korean War. That was no 76 or 78. He spent decades mastering the markets while South Korean regulations greenlight crypto liquidations for nonprofits in 2025. Wow, it just did. That's weird or interesting. Kim was the first to act, proving that digital assets are the new gold standard for high impact charity. And how does he know they can accept crypto? That's weird. Um, Keeping it moving. Altcoins are spitting into two extremes. Looked at that earlier. Leverage free rally. Don't let the sideways price fool you under the hood. XRP is heating up. On chain data shows a massive 315 million surge in combined spot and perpetual CVD on Binance within the last 48 hours. The kicker, open interest remains stable. This is a textbook signal for conviction buying. Real demand stepped in without a reckless leverage that usually makes rallies fragile. No speculative hype. Buying pressure is building through spot accumulation, not borrowed money. Liquidation shields, since the leverage is muted, the risk of long squeeze and sharp pullback is significantly lower. The $1.35 pivot, XRP is consolidating at a crucial inflection point. While price looks indecisive, the underlying metrics are leaning heavily towards bullish. So shout out to Daniel. Keeping it moving. XRP terminal XRP, Harry Potter. Wow. Spot volume closed today at 18.1 million. So the XRP is booming. Leverage volume closed at 14.8 million. That's weird. Bitwide's ATF is down 1.27% to $14.79. 9.4 million in daily volume. Grayscale is down 1.5% to 25.9, 2.8 million in 24-hour trading volume. Franklin Templeton is down 1.64% to $14.38 to 2.6 million 24-hour trading volume. Canary Capital is down 1.40, $14.06, 1.5 million in 24-hour trading volume. 21 shares is $12.90, down 1.53% to 1.49 million. Rex Offspray is $10.84, down 1.36 to 143,000. 24-hour trading volume. Tercom 2X is down 2.59% to $3.76, 7.71 24-hour trading volume. Volatility shares 2X is $39.24, down 3.16, 3.2 million in 24-hour trading volume. Pro shares Ultra is down 2.70% to $3.61 with 1.8 million 24-hour trading volume. Volatility shares is $7.49 down 1.45% to 1.6 million 24-hour trading volume. And Amplify XRP is down 1.59% to $14.21. So keeping it moving. I'm going to look at this first. The XRP ledger for the month is down 16.1% to 404.4 million. RWA count is 298, which I think went up. Represent asset value is 1.5 billion to 2% on the last month. Stablecoin market is 404.2 million, down 5.35%. RWA holders is up 4.14% to 25. Stablecoin holders is up 57.8%. Wait a minute. On the last month to 56.2 thousand. RWA 30-day transfer is 10.2 million, down 93.1%. And stablecoin 30-day transfer volume is 1.35 billion, up 43.2%. And I only check RW or RLUSD is 308 million, down 10.4%. So back to the radar, but real quick on the hour, what's this? Why is we looking at ZBEC? I guess I update that from earlier. So XRP is down 0.07 on the hour, 2.4 on the day, 7.58 on the week, 9.29 for the month, and 28.5 for the quarter, which is 90 days, and down, wow, 43.2 on the year. So this is the RW tripping XRP radar. On the XRP radar, in escrow is 36.9 billion. XRP burnt is 14.3 million. RLUSD, which is weird, is still at 903, which should be like 1.5. I don't know. I'll put another note because last time I put another note, they fixed it the next day. I don't know what's going on with the RLUSD for the radar. Exchanges hold 14.2 billion on exchange. This ETF index is continuing to grow. It's 769.8 million. I remember when it was like 225, which is strange. DeFi and AMA is 269.7 million. Tokenized RWA is 1.5 billion, and the treasury is 473.3 million. Moving down, Uphold, what? Shut the front door. Uphold had a 10.9 million on the exchange volume, which is weird. I'm not sure if I'm reading this right or saying it right. They still hold 38.3% of the total supply on the exchange. Binance is unchained, 16.8. BitThumb added 5.2 million to 12.7%. Uphold added 32,000 to 11%. Uphold's now in the top 5. BitBank 975,000 up 4%. CoinCheck 9,000 to 3.9%. Ethereum's down 40,000 to 3.4. Crypto.com looks like they lost 4.2 million to 2.3%. Coin one 444,000 to 2.2. Bitflyer 72,000 to 1.3. So we'll close that out as well. And this is the Swift blockchain pivot puts XRP back on cross-border spotlight. Swift is building a blockchain cross-border payment infrastructure with more than 40 global banks targeting a live scheme by 2026. And the plumbing, it's laying quietly positioning XRP crypto as an optional liquidity rail inside that network. This mechanism is not a partnership announcement or a headline integration. It runs through tons of payment company now embedded in the Swift network, whose connections reach Ripple payment products and, by extension, XRP on-demand liquidity functions. The market is watching because Swift blockchain push is no longer a pilot program. Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, HSBC, and Deutsche Bank, BNP, and Lloyd Bank are among the institutions involved. That is not proof of concept roster. This is the institutional settlement stack deciding which rails to wire. Key giveaways, settlement contexts, Swift blockchain schema targeted a MVP and H1 2026, and 40 plus banks complete the ISO 20022 migration in November 25, has successfully trialed involving USDC, tokenized deposits, and tokenized bonds. XRP positions the Swift Tunes integration gives them more than 11,000 banks optional access to Ripple's liquidity project, including XRP as a bridge asset, but particularly participation not mandated. Market signals, institutional infrastructure decides like this creates structure, demand, and opportunity for XRP, not guaranteed volume. This difference matters for how traders should frame this narrative. So I don't even know what that says. That's kind of weird, but I guess we'll go back to X. So this is Coinbase CEO. U.S. senators just dropped a crypto bombshell on CNBC. The Clarity Act is coming hopefully by April as this changes everything for XRP and Flare holders. Regulatory clarity, stablecoin yields unlocked, XRP FI on Flare about to go absolutely parabolic. With FXRP DeFi, staking rewards and real world adoption exploding overnight, banks are scared. The XRP army and the Flare fam are about to get paid. And this bill we've been waiting on for years. Watch the full clip before it gets deleted. So let's play this clip.
And a win for the American consumer.
What is the status of the market structure regulation that you famously blocked from passing a few weeks ago?
Yeah, well, we're here meeting with crypto companies, bank representatives, and senators as well to see if we can get to a solution on market structure. And one of the big issues that did come up in the past was this idea of stablecoins on rewards. I wouldn't say we blocked it. In fact, nobody, I think, in the crypto space has been working harder on this over the last few years to try to get some legislation. What we did say was the current draft, we had some issues with it. I think that caused everyone to come back to the table. And there's now a path forward where we can get a win-win-win outcome here. A win for the crypto industry, a win for the banks, and a win for the American consumer to get President Trump's crypto agenda through to the finish line so we can make America the crypto capital of the world.
Were you surprised? What was your reaction when he after he's obviously been so involved in this and was so deep on it and then came out against the version of the bill? How did you react to that?
Well, look, I had concerns about the bill, still have some concerns about the bill. We weren't done. We got hung up on the issue of rewards on stablecoins, which is really, in my mind, really shouldn't be part of this equation.
Wait, can we just explain this? Like why people should care about this? What the whole yields rewards on stablecoins thing is about?
Well, unless you own a bank, you probably shouldn't care. Because if you're an American consumer, what it means is that the cash that you hold, you're going to have competition to pay you more interest. So you're going to be able to get more money for the money that you have in your wallet or the money that you have in some sort of account. So this is very, very good for working Americans because ultimately this is about giving Americans more rewards for being able to have cash on reserve, being able to get paid quicker, being able to transact faster, democratize the financial systems. But we're going to get this bill across the finish line. But I would say
when?
Hopefully by April. Hopefully by April.
So by April and during April is two different things. And considering by April is 3 days, let me see. Actually, 2 days. So gonna get real interesting really quick. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. New legislation text on stablecoin yield rewards is expected to be released this week. Per staffer Senator Thomas comes after pushback from Coinbase and industry leaders who are now working on a coordinated counter proposal. A staffer for Senator Thomas, North Carolina, tells me his office plans to have a publicly release legislative text next week detailing stablecoin yield rewards provisions as talks with stablecoins continue. I told you guys, if you keep holding, they're gonna have to pass something. They're gonna have to do something from yields, man. They're not gonna give it up, right? They're not going to go quietly into the night. They're gonna have to make something happen with the customers, and they're gonna have to deal something out, right? It's not going to be something that's going to go away or something that is able for these guys to pass over, which will be kind of weird. But the move come after Coinbase and other crypto shareholders were unsatisfied with the parameters of the deal shown to a small industry leader earlier this week. Coinbase's head of investment research, David Downs, says the industry leaders are currently working on a coordinated counter proposal to explain why targeted changes are needed to protect customers and preserve sustainable rewards program. XRP open interest pumps on Binance. XRP open interest rises 14% over 246 million in new positions. Binance, as market activity around the asset continues increasing. It's a full article. I guess we can open the article. We might get time to review that, but keeping it moving. I would like to see this dance when he announces the new global financial system and the passage of the Clarity Act. Dance away, DJT, but get done as promised. The golden age of America, America as the crypto capital of the world. I'm about to say, I don't even see a dance, but that's weird. They dancing, fool. They dancing. XRP, today's Ripple strengthens XRPL security as mass test XRPL and RLUSD in Singapore. RLUSD is now part of Ripple's mass boom sandbox pilot as the company also expands AI-driven XRP security. The move ties stronger blockchain protection to faster trade finance settlement in Singapore. I think we mentioned that at the beginning of the live. This is an urgent update from who is this? Levi. Let's see what Levi.
Now, okay, we got a big update this morning. The U.S. is considering setting up to XRP Army. I repeat, this is not a joke. Please listen now, okay? We got a big update this morning. The U.S. is considering setting up to 10,000 additional troops on top of the 10,000 prior troops that they sent to the Middle East to give President Trump more military options per the Wall Street Journal. These troops would be added to the 5,000 Marines and the thousands of paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne Division. The force would likely include infantry and armored vehicles, and it is unclear where precisely forces will go in the Middle East. Now, the reason why this is so crucial is if you remember at the very start of the ongoing US-Iran-Israel war, the US did exactly this. And then just days later, they started issuing a number of different missile strikes at different Iranian regions and special military targets. If you've been paying attention throughout this conflict at all, the more escalations there are, the more downwards pressure there is on the price of all digital assets, not just XRP. And the price of oil is reacting to this as well and going up as a result of it.
So shout out to Levi on those updates. And I realized I hadn't even checked the price of stocks today, which is weird. Usually try to stay on top of that. But checking to see now, actually, what is going on in the stock market. But keeping it moving. This is, wow, this ain't even English. I'm going to keep it moving on that one. The Federal Reserve confirms it has no plans to issue a central bank digital currency, instead backing stable coins and tokenized bank deposits as digital dollar alternatives. Okay. Some of these announcements don't make really a lot of sense, but okay. So this is while you panic sale 130 what? $138 worth of XRP. This is your reminder of what Ripple is building. I'm not reading all that. We're going to kick to the video.
30 right now, and people are giving up. So XRP is currently sitting around $1.30 right now, and people are giving up. People are quitting. And coincidentally, at the same exact time, all of these institutions are building on the XRP ledger. I warned you guys about this months ago. I've been saying for the longest time that the whales and the institutions, they're going to manipulate you. They're going to manipulate the little guy. They don't want you to become rich. They have tricked so many retail holders into panic selling. They've done an amazing job. Honestly, kudos to them. Congratulations to them, because they did exactly what I've been warning you guys what they're going to do. Some of you guys understand that, but majority of you still do not understand what's truly going on. And this is your wake-up call, because while retail is focused on short-term charts, the infrastructure and real-world utility behind XRP has been building astronomically lately. Let's take a look at the names involved here. We're talking major banks like Santander, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of America, PNC Bank, UBS, MUFG, Mizuho, UniCredit, Royal Bank of Canada, SBI Holdings, BMO, National Australia Bank, Westpac, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, the United States government, DM Commercial Bank, Bank of Thailand, DBS, OCBC, Shanghai Huarui Bank, Lian Pay, Tranglo, American Express, CIBC, Banco Rendimento, Unibanco, BTEC, Currencies Direct, TransferGo, IFX Payments, Saudi Central Bank, National Bank of Abu Dhabi, Rock Bank, Faisal Bank, MoneyGram, Instarem, Airwallex, Mercury FX, Cambridge Global Payments, Center, Deloitte, Temenos, Earthport, CGI, Volante Technologies, ENY Mellon, Aviva Investors. It's a global financial web. Pay attention. Now here's the part that most people still don't understand. All of that is connected through Ripple's infrastructure directly on the XRP ledger. The XRP ledger sits there as a potential liquidity layer for settlement. This is not hype. This is not theory. This is real world settlement. This is real world utility, real world infrastructure with the real rails being built in real time. So after all of that, why is XRP's price so low right now? It's because they want you, yes, you out first, because markets don't reward early infrastructure. Retail is no longer moving the price of XRP. Last week, I bought $50,000 worth of XRP and the price went down. XRP is going to be rewarding adoption at scale. Sooner or later, there's not going to be enough XRP. There is a limited supply on the public exchanges right now as we speak. There's going to be a supply shock. There is going to be a reverse carry trade. The real question is, are you just paying attention to the current price and getting emotional, or are you focused on the long-term picture?
So are you focused on the long-term pictures, right? You gotta continue to diamond hand and wait it out. This is, what is this guy's name? Thomas, I think. I forget his name. He's over the banking committee. Let me see, what the freak. Clarity Act is done. Lawmakers just dropped a major green light for crypto. And it's weird because they said they wasn't passing nothing into the Save America Act was passed.
Conversations about the Clarity Act.
U.S. lawmakers dropped a major green light. Regulatory clarity is finally here. XRP is the front and center. This is the kind of news that can shift an entire market. What is next? $5 or $10? Signed off below.
Chairman, you and I have had many conversations about the Clarity Act.
Yes.
Where are we right now?
Well, Cheryl, this is hard, and it should be hard because this is the first time ever we've tried to deal with such a historic piece of legislation. It will keep America as the most dominant player in the world economically. There's good news, though, Cheryl. The first thing I'd say is that we now have Republicans and Democrats working together on language that they can agree on. The White House agrees on it as well. We have one more step to go. We need the industry to agree on it. So I spoke last night with Coinbase as well. Everyone is still at the table. There's work to be done, but I'm really excited about the fact that we finally have Republicans and Democrats agreeing on something really important on the yield conversation. We now have to get industry to buy into this language. This is a threading the needle process. It's always difficult the first time you do it, but it gets better and better and better. And so I'm still very optimistic.
Chairman, you and I have had many conversations about the Clarity Act.
So I guess they are going to pass something soon. I doubt it, but it seems like they're making pretty good progress. This is boom. XRP is getting its own native lending protocol. Evernorth just dropped single asset vaults automated payment.
Reconciliation at scale. Wallet-to-wallet loans can create.
Wait a minute. Wallet-to-wallet loans? What is really going on? Confidential transfers using zero knowledge proofs, institutional infrastructure built on protocol levels. Oh, this is crazy. Wallet to wallet loans?
The problem was never capital, it was reconciliation at scale. Wallet-to-wallet loans can create three conflicting databases between the lender, the borrower, and the custodian. One rounding error, one price data inaccuracy, and you're in a full-blown dispute. XLS 66 is where the ledger becomes the contract. Things like repayment schedules, interest, collateral are all enforced natively at the protocol level. And that's what makes institutional scale finally possible. And it's the aggregated capital that makes it economical. $100 billion market cap, and most of it is dormant. Unlike proof-of-stake networks, XRP never has had a native yield mechanism until now. XLS 66 and single asset vaults bring all that capital on-chain. Institutional borrowers like market makers and collateral managers can draw from these vaults, and that idle capital becomes productive capital. This is yield from a real utility, on ledger, and with 13 years of operating history. The instinct has been to wrap your asset, move it to another chain, and find yield. There's a couple of problems with this, though. First being, bridging can trigger a taxable disposable event in most jurisdictions. Second, you're trusting an unproven smart contract with up to hundreds of millions of dollars of value. The native protocol inherits this 13 years of XRP network security. There's no wrapping, no new risk surface, no forced tax event. And so for institutions, that's the difference between participating and sitting it out. Payments proved XRP could move value faster and cheaper than anything else. Ripple custody proved institutions were ready to custody digital assets at scale. Ripple USD proved stablecoins could operate with institutional credibility. Each piece was fairly important, and it's lending that makes the whole greater than the sum of these individual parts. That's a complete stack that can actually earn, and Evernorth is built to sit at the center of it.
So shout out to Evernorth for that update. I spent years in tech and never seen an asset position itself like XRP is doing right now. Ripple just entered a $3.8 trillion trade finance market, not through press release, through Singapore's central bank. The Monetary Authority of Singapore invited Ripple into balloon. And I think we covered this also early. Actually, I didn't even want to read all it, so I'll just say it. Singapore, the balloon, XRP Ledger, XRLUSD, gateways, why Singapore matters, 336 billion cross-border traded daily, smart contracts and the impact. Current small businesses wait 30 to 60 days for a payment. Ripple pilot instant settlements, faster payments, and smoother operations. I told you guys, Ripple is too big to fail, man. But I guess that's all for the BTM Crypto News. Make sure you join the Crypto News Network to stay current on news and events. So this is Ripple also put a fresh update on our XRP AL securities, saying the network's moving into a more proactive AI-driven phase with AI-assisted testing and a dedicated red team and tighter standards for amendments and code changes. So the red team, if you don't know, if you guys aren't in IT, are the main security groups that are monitoring for hackers and people coming into the network and stealing or doing anything that is not productive to the company. And they whitelist, I guess, IPs and people that are negatively affecting the environment. So the red team is actually pretty important to your security of your corporate network. That sounds boring to casuals, but serious money cares about one thing more than hype: reliability. If XRP Ledger is trying to become deeper infrastructure for payments, tokenized assets, and institutional use, then security is not a side story. Security is the story. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Back in February, Ripple laid out where XRPL is headed to the next on the institutional DeFi side. They were talking about permissions, markets, institutional lending, and native on chain privacy coming in months ahead. Read between the lines here. XRP is trying to move beyond just being a fast payment token and become part of a much broader financial operating system. That is very different conversation than what most critics are stuck on. So when people say, is XRP still relevant? This is why. Because while people are still recycling 2018 jokes, Ripple and XRPL's talking about real world finance, stable coins, institutional workflows, security upgrades, lending rails, and cross border infrastructure. That's not a meme story, that's an expansion story. And now add the next layer: Vegas. Vegas, Vegas, Vegas. I should have had my Vegas shirt on. I had that on yesterday anyway. Um, XRP Vegas is coming April 30th through the May 1st. The official site is calling the largest XRP conference in the world. The speakers are lining up, including Brad Gensinghouse, David Schwartz, Chris Galarkin something, and others, plus names like Simon Baki, Simon B from Azebek. So this is not some tiny side event. This is the major ecosystem spotlight moment, and it's happening at a time when XRP already has momentum building in several directions. I got to get to Vegas, man. This is why I keep saying the Vegas angle matters, because the conference don't just bring speeches. They bring attention, they bring interviews, they bring surprise headlines, they bring partnerships into sharper focus, they bring narrative fuel. And in the crypto, narrative fuel can matter almost as much as fundamentals in the short term. But when you get both at once, that's when things get really interesting. The last point is the inference based on how major crypto conferences often concentrate announcements, media attention, while the event's official site confirms scale and a speaker's list. Now let's talk about something else a lot of people don't realize. The ETF story around XRP isn't dead. It's evolving. In March, the SEC filing showed activity tied to Curve XRP Enhanced Income ETF, and they're also filing a granted share 3x long XRP daily ETF and a granted share 3x short XRP daily ETF that doesn't sound like a mean or a vanilla spot XRP ETF is automatically approved tomorrow. Let's keep it real, but it does show the XRP remains firmly inside of institutional product conversation. And once the asset is in the conversation, it becomes a lot harder for the market to pretend it doesn't matter. So at the moment, and this is the moment feels different. This is why the moment feels different. You've got institutional finance headlines, Singapore's initiative headlines, XRP security upgrades, institutional DeFi roadmap expansions, ETF related filings, and a major Vegas event right around the corner. And yet, some people still act like XRP is irrelevant. At some point, it stops being skepticism and starts being refusal to look at the board, because you do not have to be the biggest XRP bull on earth to admit what's happening. XRP is one of the biggest names in crypto, and the story keeps getting bigger. That doesn't mean straight up only. That doesn't mean pullbacks. That doesn't mean every headline turns into price instantly, but it means the ecosystem is staying active, visible, and increasingly plugged into bigger financial conversations than a lot of people expected. And that's the part haters hate the most, because the easiest thing in the crypto is to dismiss something early. Easiest thing is to call it old, call it finished, call it overhyped, to say I missed it, so it can't matter. But markets don't care about people's pride. Market cares about attention, liquidity, infrastructure, and adoption. And now XRP is more real catalyst on the table than a lot of people are willing to admit. So here's what we're watching for. Watching for whether Ripple's Singapore initiative starts pulling in more attention into programmable settlements, trade, finance angle, and watching whether XRP Vegas creates a fresh headline or unexpected results. And I'm watching whether the ETF product chatter keeps expanding, because these pieces start stacking up. The narrative can shift fast. And the 2 points are directly supported by the Ripple's announcements and event sites. And the last point is forward looking inference based on the March SEC filing activity. So, to everyone in the chat, I want to know, do you think the Vegas becomes the next major catalyst? Do you think the market is sleeping on how big this Singapore update really is? And do you think XRP is finally at the point where it's simply too big, too visible, and too connected to ignore? Drop it in the chat, hit the like button, subscribe, because whether the critics like it or not, XRP is a way they can't laugh off anymore. So let's go. But let me come back to, I guess we'll finish out this video. What is this? Who is that? This was earlier. Do we want to do coffee chat, or we got 16 minutes? Only got 15 minutes. I guess let's see what Caesar has to say real quick.
Holding XRP and crypto, just let me enjoy this pain. Wow, what is happening in the market right now? I'm gonna tell you, I got news for you. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse just spoke to Fox Business, and they're asking, so what are we expecting from Ripple this 2026? And he's laying out exactly what happened last year and what's ahead, which is really nice. It's exciting. It's out there on X. I wish I could show you, but I'm here on my phone. And you're seeing 130 XRP, 65,000 Bitcoin. It's not easy. People are like, we're losing a lot of money, Oscar. I'm seeing the comments. I'm seeing the questions. This is a scam. What have you told us? Like, why is not going up? When? Yeah, I get it, guys. You know, Donald J. Trump said yesterday at the, cabinet meeting, Iran is begging to make a deal. And then he said, but us, I don't know if we want to do that. The U.S. has the chance. The U.S., we have a chance to say, okay, that's it. It's over. Let's move on. Let's just leave and restore the markets. Are they going to do that? You guys know that we're going to be here for a while. There's troops going in. There's more nonsense and more chaos and more fighting. And well, there's obviously an agenda, right? And we want to talk about that. We want to uncover so many things that are affecting crypto. You already know some of them. The Clarity Act, the Save America Act. Right now, I saw that Senate passed funding for DHS. So it might be, the shutdown might be already, lifted. We'll see. But the thing is, in crypto, whenever I go on X and whenever I'm seeing the latest updates, we're still building, man. We're still building. We're still going in. And I know it's hard to believe what I'm about to tell you guys, but there's people making money right now in this market. Just talk to some of those crazy traders, which is pretty nice, to come to a place and listen from all kinds of perspectives, right? Especially Latin, right? Mexico and South America, of course. And some of them are from Spain. Some of them are from Spanish-speaking countries, which is nice. I mean, you just kind of want to explore and hear different opinions, right? It's really nice. Going back home soon. Drop a like, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the notification bell. Super happy to be here in Mexico City, telling you the latest of what I'm seeing, of when I'm going next, when I'm eating, when I'm having breakfast, and I'm seeing the whole market collapse in front of my eyes. And what am I doing? Well, you have a few choices. DCA, dollar cost average. If you want to buy the dip, go ahead. HODL, don't do anything but just see, and maybe later buy, sell. That's really all you have to do. I'm out, get out. This guy's a scammer. XRP is a scam. Ripple is a nonsense Ponzi. And goodbye, crypto. Sayonara. This is not for me. So if that's you, you're leaving crypto, you're leaving at a technically bull market, bear market, I say. You're living at a bear market at a bottom. And basically that's the great indicator that this is not for you, because it's not the first time that we have seen pain on the streets, blood on the streets, which means, guys, the best is yet to come. I believe that. I'm holding and I'm buying, and sometimes I'm longing, right? Perma bulls that we like to long. But guys, let us know in the comments down below. We have the 4,000 XRP BTCC giveaway just for you. The dates are coming in, and we are just a few days to end March, and you guys can win 4,000 XRP. That's so awesome, right? So FY. BitUnex down there too. Shout out to them. We're going to go to the, got it right here, Ultra Conference, Ultra Trading Conference about to start. So I'm pretty excited for that. Getting to know more people here. And at the end of the day, the crypto community is the best, no matter where you go, in the US, in Mexico, in Singapore, in Dubai, in Europe, in whatever, right? I think the places are spectacular, and it's just a great chance to eat, explore, and enjoy financial freedom, or a different type of grass, if you know what I mean. Touch grass. Okay, guys. So Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, he sat down not that long ago, right? The last 24 hours or so. It's on X, and it's recent, with Maria Balteramo, from Fox Business. And she loves him, she loves to have him host him, and it's pretty nice having Brad always. It's a great refresher of how Bitcoin, how Ripple, the industry, and even Bitcoin is going so far. And what I'm looking is Ripple wants to continue growing. Ripple is about growth, and he mentions that they acquire a couple billion level acquisitions, and all they want to do is continue building on them. Creating more user base. In this case, those users are institutions, guys. Institutions. Multi-million level dollar institutions. And that is why, I think Brad Garlinghouse, he's just still going ahead, very bullish, very active, and Ripple is kind of like continuing what they started in 2025. So far, he's bullish. We know that XRP is the North Star for Ripple. So right now it's not bearish vibes, but it's just like they're just building, and just building 100%, which in a market like this is all you have to do to, one, don't disappear, ignore the noise and the crashing, and just keep doing your thing with honesty, transparency, building and serving people with utility. Once that's done, I mean, in the bull market, it's all gonna pay off. That's what I like. That's what I believe, and that's why I really like XRP and Ripple. Now, I see whales like Tom Lee, Michael Saylor, Katie Wood, El Salvador, right, and other different Bitcoin whales still buying, still going in, despite Bitcoin being under $66,000. There's a chance if we break down 60,000, we're gonna go to the 55 range, some levels of support that we have. And shorts, they know that what I told you about Iran, what I told you about Trump, what I told you about the war, that's money-making sounds. For a lot of people, it's, dude, we're down, we're crashing, my crypto, my Bitcoin, it's losing value. But other people are like, well, this is actually how I cook, because I can always make money no matter which type of market we have. And I think that's the beautiful thing about this whole trading leverage, right? Positions. Because if you're only DCA and the price is going down, well, I have bad news for you. You're losing on paper, but if you're not selling, you're totally fine. You see? So I think that's where people get lost, right? You can make a lot of money right now on BTCC if you short according to your strategy, not financial advice. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just saying you can still make a lot of money even if the price drops, right? So guys, I'm bullish, I'm excited, but cautiously waiting for what's going on. We'll be back home soon, and I think right now I'm chilling in a way because we already have some great allocations, but it's painful, to witness an industry so early, so new, which I mean, after over 10 years, right, we're barely gonna get Clarity Act, but still we cannot go about and kind of pass all this manipulation. It happens, right? Guys, let me know in the comments down below how you're feeling so far. What's your positions? And, are you actually holding or just buying, the dip? That's pretty good to know. And if any questions, let me know. Big shout out again to BitUnex for bringing me here to Mexico City. And we're about to start the conference. It's going to be really, really nice. And follow me on my socials. I'm posting updates there on X and Instagram, so if you guys are curious or have questions, right? And well, I'm excited. Plus, to the people that are watching till at 9 minutes, in a few more hours, I'm going to get my ASA minor paycheck. And I've been talking to them, and they are bringing more YouTubers. There's Discover Crypto with 1.3 million subscribers already dropping a video. And there's a few more things coming. That's really nice. So far, so good. It's working, like I said. That's my risk. I'm doing it. We have some videos there for you, but it's exciting that we can still get a daily paycheck, right? Despite the market. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Drop a like. Bye. Peace.
I'm actually kind of interested to see what that this guy's actually talking about. Will be worth more than Bitcoin. You are not ready for it. Let's see how many minutes we got. We only got 3 minutes. So we'll see what he's talking about.
You know, I've stated that XRP will be worth more than Bitcoin in the future. I've even gone as far as saying XRP will be worth way more than Bitcoin in the future. And the responses that I've gotten over that time period from different investors, from just random people in the internet, commenters in the chat, would be as far from, I support what you're saying. Like, I believe what you're saying, all the way to what the hell are you talking about, right? What are you on right now? And I think it's more in the range right now of the kind of, what are you on right now? And no, you don't believe it. And I think the reason why and you have that is because many people only see what's in front of them. They don't really see what the future can bring. And that's why you have a lot of people that get surprised over an Amazon, doing what it has done over the years, over the decades. And Facebook or Meta being able to do what they've been able to do, Tesla being heavily shorted by the industry, right? But then being as big as it is now, right? And many others, right? MicroStrategy, Nvidia, whatever, right? Many people that are surprised at these things because they only see what's in front of them. And that's where it ends up being a little bit of an issue, because how can you say that XRP can't be worth this much if you truly haven't envisioned what that could be like? What does XRP do that Bitcoin doesn't do? What does Bitcoin do that XRP doesn't do, right? So that's kind of how you have to classify that. So when I look at it and I go, okay, XRP is going to be worth more than Bitcoin, there's a reason, a main reason as to why that is the case. So before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below for Patreon, for Twitter, and I have a link for BTCC if you guys want to sign up, deposit, trade. If you do all that by the end of the month, you will be entered to win a 375 USDT giveaway. Sign up, deposit, and trade. 2 winners will win.
Okay, guys, got to make some runs real quick, so I'm going to shut it down. So keep your eye open, stay sharp, watch the moves, not the noise, because the next chapter for XRP might end up being a whole lot bigger than people think. As he mentioned, it might be bigger than Bitcoin. We'll have to see. And if that moment hits the way a lot of people believe it can, don't say nobody told you. Appreciate every single one of you for being here this afternoon. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Let's keep building. It's your main man, BTM, signing out. So thanks for joining. Happy Friday, and stay dangerous. Miners out.